What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is I, James. ReadoptionAgency.com. 21 years selling on eBay. Oh, man. Had an eventful morning this morning. My throat hurts from an activity I didn't know I was going to partake in this morning. Oh, man. We'll get into that, but first, what happened with eBay. And then I think I got like 22 orders or something here. 25 orders. I think they're all pulled. I think. All right. So let's get into eBay. So if you remember yesterday, I was doing good in the morning. I had $500 by noon. Then everything shut down. So in the first 10 hours, I had $500, which included some of the worst hours to shop in, basically 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., right? So $500 in the first 10 hours. The next 14 hours, I got $322. So kind of turned off. I thought I was going to, if it would have kept on, it would have been a $1,200 day, $822. So at least I got over 800. But yeah, it turned off. Another day where pictures, that was the thing I forgot yesterday. I was trying to remember. But so Sunday and then Monday, uploading pictures on the app is slow to no. It just ain't happening because I don't have the time to sit around and wait for pictures to upload. So that was a huge problem. I saw a change. Of course, another change on eBay? No. They got rid of item pages, which I'm not too fond of that idea. So if you search something, you scroll all the way down, instead of showing how many pages there are, there's a little bitty button, not highlighted or anything, that says load more. Basically, it feels like everything other than the first, depending on your settings, 200, 240, whatever. Beyond that's hidden, unless you see that little bitty button and happen to push it. And then you get another, I guess, 240 or whatever. I guess most people are set on 60. So they'll go through 60. And the page numbers, at least when you got to the bottom, were dominant. You could tell there was, at least this is from my perspective, I could be 100% wrong, but that seemed like a better thing because it was more obvious there was more, where now all you got is a little button that says load more. So it could potentially, I think, hurt sales if people don't click that button and wait for it to load. I don't think it's a good layout personally, but hopefully I'm wrong. But I'm not a fan of it because it feels very hidden. So, and if it automatically gave you more as you scrolled down, that would be the better way to do it. I know there are websites out there that do that. When you scroll and you scroll and scroll, instead of hitting load more, it just automatically loads more. Why they didn't go that route, I don't understand. That would have been a hell of a lot better route than a little bitty load more button. So not happy about that at all. Has the potential to really hurt sales, in my opinion. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong. But that I noticed yesterday. So we got to 833. I should have checked my item number because afternoon time, I think the longest time I went without anything was like 2 hours. So I was having constant sales, several sales every hour, to then all of a sudden like 2 hours with nothing, and here we go again type of situation. So I only made it up to 56 items sold. So yesterday should have been a hell of a lot higher than that. This morning, because of the activities, it is now 10:20 a.m. So I'm after my 10 o'clock time, where I like to have 150 to 250. And when eBay's working right, I have clear 250 by long shot. We were at 197. So at least we're there. So hopefully, like I said before, it's hard to judge what a day is going to be anymore, because it will just change, do a 180 in the middle of the day. So I got about 2.5 days this time of the eBay site working great. Before, I think it was 4.5 days. So this time I got 2.5 days. So we'll see how today plays out. But as of now, I have 15 items sold, 7 organic, 8 promoted. And that's at least the one. Yesterday, it was a 64-35 split, but still 20 organic, 36 promoted. So still nothing like crazy wrong in those numbers. So that looks to have settled down, at least for now. And what I mean by that is like balancing out your organics and your promoted. Or mine, I should say. Oh man, what a morning. Let's see what's going on with YouTube this morning. Ooh, almost 14.8. Thanks everybody for subscribing. All right, let's see if we've got some comments in that before we get into this and my eventful morning. I don't know about anyone else, but I would buy stuff with Vern Slobber on it. That's awesome. Yeah, I fell deeper into that like despair mood yesterday. So I started like writing like a lyrics or a poem type of thing. Didn't get finished, so I didn't put it out there because I only got like 4 lines, and I'm like, yeah. And then I got a block. But then I got the idea of that video I put up about being a mid eBay seller. And I get the mid from the whole wrestling world, where they call some wrestlers mid, as in mid-card wrestlers, average, middle of the road. So I thought that would have been a little funny video. Try to, get some comedy into my day to change my mental set. So it wasn't nothing like me slamming or, putting myself down. It was just reality, but a fun way of looking at it. So, good morning, James. Are you live today? Now I am. High five. Somebody asked, what category did you hit number 1? It's a joke, kids. I'm number 1 mid seller on eBay. I was making a joke. It's supposed to be funny. eBay is just off and on. We are being passed around from working servers to non-working servers like Play Toys. And that's what it really feels like, and has for 2 years now. So, and I'll say it again, as I had dug around and found out they were and are on a 3-year server changeout. I was trying to say server and changeout at the same time. Server changeout. So they could still be in the midst of that, and that's why the flip-flopping is still so obvious. I will say it has its moments of feeling better over the past, let's just call it a month, where I had the 4.5 days a good time, where now I had 2.5 days, where before I'd just get 1 good day. So it feels a little bit better. So hopefully it's going in the right direction. And obviously they're still making changes, which totally, when they make a change, it tears up other things on the website. So just noticed that change yesterday. Who knows what other changes came along with that. So, the King of Mid just started listing my distressed hats. Love distressed hats. The more distressed, the better, the higher the price. New subscriber here. Enjoy your video. Look forward to the new ones. Thank you much, Sandy from Chicago. I don't know if you ever respond to comments, but if you do, I'm interested in your opinion. Do you think that your store with 50K items or whatever it may be draws more traffic and sales than a smaller store, or is it just a matter of having what people want? Both. If you have what people want, you're going to get the traffic no matter what. If you're selling all like fast moving whatever, shoes, fast moving brand name clothes, you're going to get that traffic no matter what, because you're going to have more people looking for those items. With my store, I feel like the more diverse stuff I add, the more diverse traffic I get. In my opinion, it feels better. It feels like, I'm not weighing my store down and I'm getting a lot of views, but I'm getting punished because they're not sell-through. I've always been about a 2% sell-through rate. I think I'm up to 3% now. So I've always had a low sell-through rate, but that's how the business was built. It was built on volume over quick selling. And that was built basically that way because of my situation. Years of buying out storage lockers, moving a lot of the cherry stuff right off the bat to get my money back. And then also for the last 6 years, taking care of my dad. Well, it wasn't the last 6 years, but it's going to be going on a year and a half now since he's passed. But 6 years of taking care of him. And being mid, I wasn't getting the sales I wanted. Plus, we were going through a lot of stress in life. So my idea was go over to the bins for an hour, come home. But if can only go out of the house for an hour, I've got to make the best of it. So I started focusing on used hats when I realized that I could sell any type of used hat, even if I didn't know what the hell it was, and I listed it as such, unknown letter J or unloaded, and it will sell. And they were light and cheap. I could go over there to the bins, spend an hour, load up my truck with hats, media, clothes, whatever else I could find on top of it, but built my store around hats. Because I knew I could go over there daily if I needed to, and I could just pile up the hats. And they had a higher sell-through rate and also a higher dollar amount than like CDs and cassettes. As if you watch my Friday videos, hats are in my number 1 category. CDs are number 2, cassettes are number 3. Before there was hats, it was just the CDs and cassettes, so the hats really turned things around for me in my store. But that being said, being my store is the mid store on eBay, I'm going to trademark that, the mid store on eBay. I feel that when I get more items into my store, the diverse stuff, because I've had in the past people reach out to me and say, I came in the store looking for this, and I found this and this. I love your store. I love just paging through your store to see what you have. So I feel the more diverse stuff I can get to bring in different eyeballs, the better. So I'm always going to be 2% sell-through rate. You just got to take advantage of what you are. And don't try to be something you're not. Milk what you are and what you have for as best as you can. So that's what I feel it does in that instance. Like when I got that stuff from a yard sale, quicker moving stuff, different stuff than I would get, at the bins, that hoarder garage stuff, more antique-ish, not antique, but older vintage stuff, like, the old Coca-Cola milk crate, the old milk bottles, you know, those are going to bring in a totally different looker than I've ever had in my store if they click on see store items, which always feels like eBay kind of just slowly shrinking the clickability of this person's got a store, which kind of stinks. It almost feels like they don't want somebody to go and check out your other items. So, especially on the app, because the app, 50% of my sales come the app, 50% online. Probably not exactly that, but right at 50-50. And on the app, it's impossible to even see a description, let alone find somebody's store. So I think my stuff is more based on people on desktops than on, even though it's 50-50. I feel like if anybody is buying the bulk stuff, they're on a desktop. They're not on their app, unfortunately. That's what it feels like, because there's no easy way to do it on the app, it feels like. So that's my opinion. And then a bunch of people responded their opinions too. So take it all in and do with it as you will. All right, let's get into this. I know Stamps is probably still not working. But we will try it in hopes. How much business is Stamps.com losing not working properly? We're 22 days now since it's worked, and it's still not working. All right. So, let's see here. That's the latest, so we'll go there. Okay. All right, so first up, we've got more of these Pinewood Derby. Bought 2 lots of 10. I'd gotten 2 huge totes of Boy Scout patches over at the bins at one time, so... these 2 lots together, headed to Wisconsin, sold for $18. So I stayed in bed this morning for Vern because he couldn't get up. He seemed like he wanted to get up and go out about 6 this morning, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't walk. I gave him a Tylenol with codeine, a fourth of it, but it was like 8 p.m. last night, so he's acting like that's still in his system, even though it shouldn't be. Like he's kind of out of it a little bit. So I thought, well, maybe he just needs to rest more, so I stayed in bed till about 10. Got him outside, but he sat down immediately. He didn't go to the bathroom. He did eat. He is eating again, so that's good. But Mystery Machine. Yesterday he went a little overboard because I was out back starting the process of opening the pool, and he ended up coming down the steps. So I'm like, no. So he came down the steps. So I had to walk him all the way around the house to get him back in the house because I didn't want him trying to get up the steps. And that was a long walk for him. So he put in some effort yesterday. So I think he's just feeling the effects of that. So if he just rests a lot today, I think he'll be okay. I always give him that day or two to rebound because he usually does. So hopefully we'll have another rebound and it won't be back down, farther down. So we will see how he does. He's walked his way back into the kitchen where Jan is, so he's watching her eat. So he's still got same old Vern in him. This is headed to Eugene, Oregon. Sold for $540. But, I wish the neighbors would keep their animals in their own yards. Courtney is not small animal friendly. She will dig up moles in the backyard. She's gotten rabbits. She's gotten squirrels. A neighbor who would let their dogs just run around squeezed under our gate last summer. She killed that little pup. And it just makes me feel bad. Man, I don't... You know, I mean, what can you do? She's on her... She's protecting her ground. You know, it just angers me that people won't keep their animals in check, right? And then here I am feeling guilty because the animal came onto our land and Courtney kills it, right? Well, this morning, we got a new neighbor who's got 3 cats and just lets them roam. Even though we got coyotes all over the place here. And she's been warned there's coyotes all over the place. Let Courtney out the front. There's a gray cat. One of the new neighbor cats. Courtney! Courtney! I'm running. Courtney! They're rolling around. I don't think... It didn't look like she got her teeth on them. The cat finally took off and went up a tree. But, you know, I mean... I know she's doing her instincts. She got booted in the butt. Me trying to make sure she got off. I don't hit her hard, more of a boot. And then gave her a no. But she's instinct. She's going to do that. I just wish people would keep their animals in check. So now I'm concerned, is that cat hurt? It didn't make any weird sounds. So I'm hoping she didn't get her mouth on it. We got a lot of 7 Justic cassettes headed to Miami Beach, Florida. Sold for $7. I'll leave these rubber bands together. It'll be safer that way. But I'm just... Oh, it's just aggravating. Put this in a box so it don't get broke. But yeah, so eventful morning. Hat box, a medium mail. One in center. Like, even when my 2 are out front, they know their boundaries. They know where not to go past. They will walk up to it smelling it. They might walk over to the neighbor's tree, which I let them, which is right past it, because they love smelling the tree, and they come right back. And they will run out to meet somebody and greet somebody, but they know their boundaries, and it just sucks. I feel like I can't let my dogs outside because people won't care for their animals. All right. Hugo Winter Halter 45, headed to Howe, Michigan. Sold for $7. I shouldn't feel like that. I should be punished for letting my dogs in my own yard, right? And that's what it feels like, because now I have to deal with this guilt that she got a hold of an animal. But like I said, hopefully it didn't look like she got actual hold of this one. They were wrestling though. So hopefully, and that's a big old. It's a tomcat too. It probably could have kicked Courtney's butt a little bit if she would have. If she did get a hold of it, she could have got an eye gouged out or something. So. I didn't see no marks on her on first glance. Shouldn't feel like a prisoner to my own yards. Or a prisoner in my own yard, I should say. Or something like that. Whatever. Anyway. Jan always grabs these little crafty things at the bins. So we got these little flowers here. Headed to Westminster, Colorado, sold for $5. CD, no media. Yeah, now my throat hurts from screaming. Alrighty, next up we've got a St. Louis Cardinals baseball cap. Headed to Russell, Iowa. Sold for $6. So. The King of Mid. Have you guys noticed? If you've noticed any other changes, let me know in the below. Like some new changes yesterday that you've never seen before. Other than the page thing. Oh, that hurts. I had to get some. Have no ice, so I didn't get no water. Ice machine's been acting up lately. I'm gonna check and see what the down detectors look like for yesterday. Had a half good day. Well, not quite half. What does that all look like? May 8th, yesterday, it looks like at 11 a.m. Whoosh, huge spike, bigger than normal. And about 12 is when everything turned off for me. But since then, everything's really actually lower than normal. Wow. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Why have sales been so poor the last couple of months? Well, let me tell you the reasons why. ongoing technical issues. Tracking numbers not showing. Saying that they're on vacation when they're not. Here's the people who can't go to the next page of sellers listings. It's because there's no page numbers anymore. Yep. Oh. Questions. Have had 10 sales in months. Not good. I'm losing it. Why don't we, for the rest of this video, go over things you should be doing? And I'll tell you the things I am doing. And make sure you're doing everything correctly or doing as best as you can to make sure sales are accurate or as best, that's not on your end, basically. All right, Flight Safety International. Just put this hat up yesterday, I think, or the day before. Headed to Hong Kong. We got an international. Sold for $10.50. First off, obviously, is competitive pricing. Making sure your items are priced in line with others. So basically, as you're listing an item, run a search on eBay before you price it and see what other people are pricing it at. The only thing I don't do that with is hats and t-shirts. I put them all up at $14.99 personally, and then I run a sale, 30% off. That would be part two, running sales. Running sales feels like it helps in the algorithm. I don't know that 100%. Whoops. Hold on, I need to do this properly. It's pirate ship. So price competitively, run a sale. Even if you have to up your price to put on a sale, do that. Because I think having the sale at least looks better to a customer. You've got customers who will buy no matter what. You have customers looking for deals. You've got customers who, just because there's a percentage off, think they're getting the best deal or a great deal. So there's all different types of shoppers out there, and you got to kind of try to capture as many as you can. We got Gravediggers cassette single. Headed to Elwood, New Jersey. Sold for $10.50. Next up is promoting. You have to pay to play these days. There's no ways around it. Unless you have like super high stuff that are high moving stuff that everybody wants. And not many people have it up on eBay. Then you probably don't have to promote. Any other reason, you're going to have to promote. What I would suggest, if you don't know what percentage to promote at, obviously look at what eBay says the average is, which is probably going to be a lot higher than you think it is if you've never looked. And promote as close to it as you can. Then that also comes back to with your pricing. Everybody's going to be different because everybody's got different items. So I'm just giving you everything. So if you have to raise a price to promote higher, the thing about promoting is promoting is going to get those people who's going to be willing to pay, who just probably on the app, do a quick search. Yours is within the first few, click, boom, sold. You're going to get those when you come to promoting. The people who are looking for bargains, they're going to look for bargains. They're going to toggle lowest first instead of using best match. So you got to wrap them up with the lowest numbers. You got to wrap up everybody else with promoting properly, so you get placement, the better placements. We got Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Beanbag plush headed to Warren, Michigan. Sold for $9. This is a t-shirt poly bag. What else? I mean, the biggest thing is just, if you have the stuff to list, just keep listing. I'm trying to think else. What else is there? Meredith Brooks, What Would Happen? CD, single. Headed to Katy, Texas. Sold for $540. I know they've got a new thing where you can share your stuff on social media. I haven't used any of that. I haven't used the share on social media in a long time period because I don't want to spam, my personal page. So that's the reason I don't use it. Like right now, I keep in mind set where it is, because I know since I had that 2.5 days of everything working right, I feel comfortable with wherever my settings are. That is 30% off on most items in my store. Like my shoes, I'm not doing any sale on. And I'm promoting at 14% right now. So, Partridge Family's Greatest Hits CD. Headed to Lincoln Park, Michigan. And sold for $420. And I got all my promotions in one big thing instead of breaking them down, except for my low dollar $5.99 free ship items. I'm not promoting those. And I'm not promoting anything over $70. Everything else in between is promoted. When I list an item, I list it knowing I'm going to put it on sale. It's going to be on sale for 30%. So I'm not always putting it in at the lowest. I'm putting it in at a price where I may be the lowest after the sale kicks in. Alrighty, we've got a lot of action figure toys here. More like probably parts and pieces. There's some full stuff in here, but some extra stuff was, I think, in a tote I bought for like 10 bucks. These are some of the last of the parts that were in it. Maybe this was bought separately. There's a $4 price tag on there. Anyway, so for $16.20, headed to Ridgeville, South Carolina. I don't think it's going to fit in that box. See if you'll fit in here. So, won't do anything. The next thing I am working on is just with these videos, because most of you guys are resellers, so I'm trying to find that video idea that will cater to buyers. And I'm hoping that's what the yard sale videos will do once I get more of those going, since people outside of resellers like watching those videos. Hopefully that will generate more sales. And maybe something simple like I did yesterday, a little goofy video. If I can get my headspace back into being goofy and making stupid little videos, that might attract an outside audience also. And I would say too, another thing I do a lot is, I'll share stuff on my personal Facebook page. Like I'll just share my store URL, or I'll make goofy jokes about something that I found, or just take a picture of something cool I found, share it with the friends, and then put my store link in the comment section, if you will. I don't do that as much as I probably should. All right, we got Rolling Stone magazine with Creed on the cover. February 20, 2002. Sold for $7, headed to Tampa. And like I said before, if you're like out of stuff to list, cross listing I think wouldn't hurt you. Me personally, I'm not there yet. As I've said before, like with just these past 2.5 days, when eBay's working, I have no time to worry about cross listing because I'm getting all my sales on eBay. So I focus, since I have so much that needs to be listed, I am focusing on eBay. If I was at the point where everything I had is listed, I would be cross-listing. Alrighty, next up we've got some jeans. Royal blue, red jeans. Women's, headed to Los Angeles, California. Sold for $16. That's another thing too. Like, say you do bins or yard sales and that. Look at stuff you don't normally do before. Like, I used to do pants and then haven't done pants in forever. Started getting back into pants. I told Jan, when you go over there, grab pants. One day, the last time that I had went over there, which has been a couple months now, I mean, half my cart was jeans. And you see here and there, I'll sell a pair of jeans or two for decent money, $16 plus shipping. So if you have just an odds and ends stores like mine, I think niching down will hurt you more than not niching down. I know there's a lot of people out there that say you should niche down kills it or whatever. Not necessarily. Sure, if I did all hats, actually, now that I think about it, but my top three are all good. But if I spent more time listing hats, my hat sales would explode. Because I think hats are one of those things, hats, CDs, and cassettes, in my opinion, are those three things that if I doubled, my sales would double. Because I've always kept an average. On those three items, my averages have always been the same. So I know concentrating on those three items first and foremost, if I double them, I double my sales. That's another thing. Know your numbers. Figure out your numbers. Study your numbers. Figure out what they mean. Learn what they mean. Do YouTube video searches on people explaining what the numbers mean. When you understand your numbers and know your numbers, you would know, hey, if I double this, I know I can get double at the bins or yard sales or wherever, that my sales would double. So, because you would know that you have a consistent sale of those items all the time. No matter the sell-through rate, even if the sell-through rate's 2%, but yet you sell them consistently, you would know that if I double those items, I double my sales. And I've already done that once when I had 5,000 hats. I'm like, if I double my store 10,000 hats, my sales are going to double in that. And they did. And I'm at 12,000 hats now. So I'm thinking when I get to 20, 24, then my sales will double again, type of thing. So knowing what you're selling, knowing your numbers, and depending on the stuff you sell, look at something you may not have thought about. Jeans. You see what I sell, so I'm sure you can get ideas from that. A lot of you guys have. A lot of you guys have stole my business. You stole my customers. But yeah. Think outside the box. A lot of people just get tunnel vision. Regular 61. Vern's meds are ready to pick up. All right, this is headed to Poland. Sold for $7. That's a weird address. All right, International CD. $6.99. 37. Poland needs a number. Hey, where's my tracking? Why does he keep closing that window? I always forget what it's called. HS code. For CD. 5271. I've got two different numbers here, so I'm trying to figure out which one's which. I'm getting three different numbers here. What the heck? Let me put in the actual word. All right, we're going with you. Oh, compact disc. And it is. I really need to look see if there's just an easy website to search instead of Google to get these numbers. I'm sure there is. I just haven't paid attention. Alright, I want to get this one hat out because they wanted it quick. I'm guessing they're starting a job there soon or something. They wanted it quick. So we got a Subway hat. Let me go down and find this Subway hat. Headed to Dayton, Maryland. Sold for $7. Let's make sure that gets out today. Subway back in the day was one of my if I'm homeless, what do I do for food ideas. Because back in the day, they used to give out coupons every time you buy one, and when you get 12 coupons on a card, you get a free sandwich. So my goal, well, not my goal, but one of my ideas was when I'm homeless, I'll make sure I have those cards, and instead of begging people for money, I will ask them for their coupons so that I can end up getting a free sandwich. If you don't use your coupons, can I have them for mine? And then another one, obviously, is what we used to, because we didn't have money growing up, so me and my friends, so we were out running around. We knew if you hit certain pizza places, you could get free pizza as they're closing down. And I don't eat pizza, so we would also hit chicken places, fried chicken places, because at the end of the night, they have to throw away their chicken. And so they break it up and throw it away. But if you can befriend somebody in a chicken place as they're closing down, you can get a lot of free chicken. So I used to get a lot of free chicken. That would hold us over for days. Rosemary Beach hat. Headed to Wareham, Massachusetts. Sold for $10.50. I was prepared for my life going in any direction. Alrighty, next up we've got 2 Dick Clark cassettes. Headed to Walker, Minnesota. Sold for $5 for both of them together in one lot. $55 minutes. Oops, I need CD packaging. CD media mail. 4/6. haven't heard enough cha-chings since we've been doing this. So it tells me eBay's going to be slow today, or at least the first half of the day. Where am I at? 209. So we're only up like what, $12? In the last hour-ish. Do I got everything that has to go out today done? May 9th, yes. All right, next up we've got some Levi's women's jeans. And headed to Effort, Pennsylvania, sold for $14. Hoodie 146. Gotta go outside and look for that cat and see if it's okay. Did you hear my stomach growl? Sounded like a cat. Aaron Hall, The Truth cassette. Headed to Dayton, Ohio, sold for $6. Probably free shipping on that. There's one. 8-track tape for $13. Alright, we got, are you ready for a CD lot? Yeah. We've got the Beatles. We've got REO Speedwagon. And we have Extreme. 3 sides to every story. It's a great album, great band. Their new stuff sounds good too. Excited about that. Staying in the area, going out to St. Charles. Sold for $18. I remember my first CDs. Finally, I bought a CD player, and for my birthday, my mom was going to buy me my first 5 CDs, so we went to Record Exchange. I ended up getting Extreme Pornograffiti, Poison's Flesh and Blood, Judas Priest Painkiller, I don't remember the other 2. But yeah. All 3 of those are good albums though. Judas Priest Painkiller is just, I love that album. Man, that album just kills still today. So does Extreme though too. I've listened to that album yet, maybe last week. Dance, dance to the decadent dance. Everybody take a chance. Dance into the decadent, dance into the decadent dance. If my throat wasn't hurting already, I'd do some Judas Priest. Yeah. He is the painkiller. I'd really be straining the voice. All right. Signs of Life. CD headed to Los Angeles. Sold for $6. Probably free shipping. Watch me work. Biggity, biggity, bam. Sig. Cryptic Cat. I don't know what it is. Sold for $7. Headed in Jacksonville, Florida. And Hatbox USA. All right, I guess we will call it now. I got 2 more items here, but I'll get those in a minute. Yeah, so we only sold 2 items since we started the live. Boo. But I got this Jeff Ott CD that sold for $12. And then I got a Billabong shirt sold for $8. Then we got a First Williams CD that sold for $8. And then 2 8-tracks together sold for $10. Yeah, I took an offer for those yesterday at $5 a piece. That's right. So, boom. There we are. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty crappy sales day. Pretty slow sales day again today, as it was yesterday evening. But, all right. That's it. All right. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.